Are you a cloud architect, solution architect, or enterprise architect interested in multi-cloud architectures? If so, this video is for you. Hi, my name is Michael Gibbs, and I'm the founder and CEO of Go Cloud Architects. And we're an organization that's dedicated towards building high-performance cloud computing careers. Personally, I've been working in technology for over 25 years, and I've been helping others get their first tech job or promoted in tech for 2 decades. And my favorite thing is when my students call me and say, I just got cloud hired. Today, we're going to talk about why multi-cloud is the only smart cloud architecture. And we're going to talk about the business reasons for multi-cloud architectures. We'll talk about the technology reasons for multi-cloud architectures as well, and then why most organizations would be best with a hybrid cloud or a multi-cloud architecture. We're going to begin with the tech. So let's talk about the tech first. A single cloud is a single point of failure. I'm going to say this again. A single cloud is a single point of failure. Now, the cloud providers will tell you multiple availability zones, multiple regions, and you're going to have 5 nines availability, 2 availability zones in 2 different regions. But a single cloud is a single point of failure. And while a single cloud may deliver high availability under the right circumstances, a single cloud architecture is so vulnerable to so many of the catastrophic failures that can occur. And it's almost never a good idea to use a single cloud. And we'll talk about the business rationale, but let's talk about the tech. In high availability architectures, you have no single points of failure and you have redundancy everywhere. Now, the most critical part of any cloud or any data center or anything is the network. The network is the foundation for everything. It is the plumbing. It is also, in most cases, the most complicated part. When we build networks, we always use 2 different network providers. For example, let's say I'm in Palm Beach, Florida, and I want to connect to New York. I might get a link from AT&T, and I would get another network connection from Verizon. Now, I wouldn't use 2 links on AT&T. Look, AT&T is an incredible internet service provider, and I love them, and they are my internet service provider, one of them. But why wouldn't I have 2 links on AT&T? Because if this link gets cut, for example, the backup on AT&T would work. But if AT&T has a network problem, both links go down. And if my network's just on AT&T, I am down. So you would never build a network with a single service provider, and you should never build a cloud with a single service provider. So the network is the primary reason you should never use a single cloud provider, because if they have a problem in their network, it'll take down the whole cloud, or it could take down the whole cloud. Now let's talk about the next reason you should never assume a single cloud provider can do it. And all cloud architects, solution architects, and enterprise architects, as part of their job, should always think multi-cloud. So the cloud architect understands how the cloud works. Basically speaking, you've got a network, routers and switches and cables and such, and then you've got a bunch of servers, a bunch of storage and load balancers and all these things. Now, that's the physical data center, the physical cloud. Now, what turns it into a real cloud? The installation of the control plane. So the cloud's got this master orchestration thing that's enabling servers to be coming up. It's enabling the storage to be where it is. It's the control plane. It orchestrates it. So if the conductor, you've got, like, say, the conductor, which is, controlling the orchestra, if that goes down, the conductor goes down, the orchestra doesn't play as well. Now, if the orchestration of the cloud goes down, the whole cloud can go down. So again, that single cloud becomes a single point of failure because it doesn't matter how many availability zones and regions you use. The control plane goes down. The cloud is dead. If the cloud is dead, all of its customers are dead. Now, there's one more tech reason that a single cloud is so dangerous. People, for some reason, think the cloud is more secure than the data center. Well, let's first start with the facts. The cloud has every security vulnerability that the data center has. So identical number between the cloud and the data center. But now in the cloud, if the cloud gets hacked, you can get access to all the customer's information. And it's not rare. We saw it recently with Azure. They were hacked, and a lot of the people that were using one of their databases, their information came out. So it's not that the cloud providers aren't amazing. They're amazing. The point is things happen. Hackers are out there. And who do you hack? Do you hack a single data center, or do you hack the cloud? If you hack the cloud, it's the highest value target in the world because you get all of their customers. So because of that, with the cloud, you have to be concerned about all the normal security things, but also what happens to the cloud. Because if the cloud is hacked with a massive DDoS attack and the cloud can't survive it, all the cloud is down all over again. So we can lose the cloud due to a network failure, a control plane failure, or a hacking failure. And imagine a hospital, for example, that has patients in the hospital that are dependent upon the technology. A patient has an emergency, the doctor goes to the chart and can't find anything. They don't know the patient's allergies, their blood type, or whatever. It's a disaster. People will die. Or if it's a bank that can basically make millions of dollars a minute or lose millions of dollars a minute if their systems are down, it can be catastrophic. So we can't use a single cloud. We can't use a single set of network providers because there's just too many risks. So that's, the technology reasons. But do you think these outages are rare? The cloud providers say it's safe. 2 availability zones gives you 4 nines availability, 2 availability zones in 2 regions, and guess what? 5 nines, 5 minutes and 15 seconds of downtime per year. Let's examine the facts. On October 13th, 2021, Azure had a pretty massive outage and it affected a tremendous number of customers. On November 16th, Google had a pretty substantial outage and it affected some major customers in a lot of environments. December 7th, 2021, AWS had an outage and affected multiple regions. And on December 15th, 2021, AWS had another outage affecting multiple valley zones and regions. As you can see, 4 major events inside of 60 days or so. 2 months, 4 major events. So realistically speaking, did any cloud provider do 5 nines this year? No. Did any cloud provider deliver 4 nines this year? Not really. So realistically, think about that and look at this. No cloud provider this year has been able to do high availability, and we expected it. People like me from the network background, we've told everybody, you must use a multi-cloud architecture or a hybrid cloud architecture. You must either have a data center and a cloud, a data center and 2 clouds, or 3 clouds, but don't have 1 cloud provider. In the military world, we say 1 is none, 2 is 1, and 3 is greater than 2. And in the high availability world, it's the same thing. Anytime you have anything that's a single point of failure, a single cloud is a single point of failure. Now let's talk about the business reasons a single cloud provider is not a good idea. When you have a single cloud provider, it gives you and puts you in a situation where you are locked in. Now, if you move all your infrastructure to the cloud, and especially if you use cloud vendor proprietary services, where you had to recode or configure applications to get them to the cloud, and the cloud provider says, we want to raise your rates 20%, you're stuck. If the cloud provider decides they don't like your business for some reason and wants to kick you out, you're in trouble. But the point is, when you're on a single cloud provider, you have no bargaining power whatsoever. Cloud provider wants to raise your rates, you're stuck. You can't do it. And the service provider, the cloud provider, knows if you're using serverless, it can cost you thousands or millions or tens of millions of dollars to leave. And that's why all these serverless things are so cool and proprietary things are so cool. You're trapped forever. Now they often do provide some transformation and good services. So the organization has to value in their architecture. Is it better to be trapped and the risk of not being able to leave and save a little money, or is it better to have options? And that's going to be different for every business. But the cloud providers know if you're on a single cloud, you're in trouble. Now, let's talk about being on multi-cloud. Now I'm on multiple cloud providers. My one cloud provider wants to raise my rates. I can say to the cloud provider, bye. Now, I might not really want to do that, but I can say bye. Now, here's the thing. I want you to truly understand the impact of losing a customer to a major cloud provider. So if it's a small customer like me and I want to leave my cloud provider, they don't care. But let's assume I'm a big bank or a global retailer and I'm on 2 clouds. And now I decide to pull out of 1 cloud because they raised my rates. You know what's going to happen? The new cloud provider is going to issue a press release. Big business went to ABC Cloud. Now, they left ABC Cloud to go to DEF Cloud. That's where it really comes. Now, I have spoken to tremendous numbers of technology providers, and they have told me that when a critical customer leaves them and issues a press release to go to another customer, it can cost tens to hundreds of millions to billions of dollars per quarter in lost business. So, when you're on multiple clouds and your cloud provider plays games with you, tries to raise your rates, what have you, you can say, I'm thinking of going to that other cloud provider. It would be a nice press release. And that cloud provider will really come down and negotiate with you because the value of having you as a customer and getting the press release that you are a customer may be in some cases far more worth it to the cloud provider than the cost of your business in the first place. But if you're on a single cloud, you've got no bargaining power because you're trapped and they know you're trapped. So from a business perspective, give yourself options. If one of the cloud providers were to go bankrupt, which they won't, but let's assume they would, you're still in another cloud provider, so it's giving you business continuity planning. If the cloud provider doesn't like your business and wants to kick you out, it's happened before, don't worry, you're still in another cloud provider. So always, always, always have options. A single cloud as a single point of failure. So now let's look cloud architects, solution architects, and enterprise architects. We'd never design a network with a single point of failure. We shouldn't design a cloud architecture with a single point of failure. By using multi-cloud architectures, realistically speaking, we have no single points of failure. We have protection from better vendor lock-in. We have better bargaining power. So we should all be multi-cloud architects, not just solution architects, cloud architects, or enterprise architects, because multi-cloud architecture is the only cloud architecture that's high availability and in the best interest of our customers. This is Michael Gibbs. I'm the founder and CEO of Go Cloud Architects. It's an honor to speak to you today, and I look forward to seeing you in another video. Take care. It was so nice having you join us for this video today. Let me tell you about some free services we do for the cloud community. Once per week, we actually have a free question and answer session live on YouTube, where you can come and ask us any questions you want about building your career related to cloud computing or networking, and we'll answer them in real time for you because we want to get you to your goals. Several more times per week, we have guests from industry experts that I've known for decades that are movers and shakers that have changed the world, that can give you information so you can build the best career. I invite them periodically. They are on my show. If there's a chance to do some free training on our channel, we'll do it live because we want you to all to have the best skills for the best career. So please subscribe and hit the bell. I look forward to seeing you, and I look forward to assisting you in your technology career. Thank you so much. This is Michael Gibbs from Go Cloud Architects.